what's going on everybody? This is Ace and I'm back with another reaction video. Here we go. Alright, so my trek into Madonna's 1987 You Can Dance remix album continues. This is track number 2, Holiday. Now, of course I've heard Holiday. You know, I'm very familiar with the song. It goes all the way back to the first album. She's played it on multiple tours. So I'm kind of curious to see, you know, how it's presented on this particular album. So yeah, let's get into it. Pause for a minute. Alright, so right away I noticed that it began with those relaxed bongos on top of the low-key synthesizer riff. Madonna seemed to have a strong affinity for Latin music during this particular period, and that aspect just seemed like another illustration of that. Beyond that, however, I don't detect many overt differences between this version and the original, so yeah, let's keep going though. I love that part right there when she was like, just one day. Let me go back. Come on, let's celebrate. Just one day out of life. Just one day out of life. It would be so nice. You can turn this world around and bring back all of those happy days. Would you try? right, Holiday. So I'm not going to get into what the song is about. We're beyond that with this particular song. Again, I didn't detect many overt changes with this particular version. Um, but what I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back and listen to the original just to compare and contrast the two because it's been a minute since I've heard the original. Pause. All right, so I'm back. So I noticed that there are a few updated production elements that I even noticed during the reaction, like the bongos, the free flowing percussion sounds, and the echoes. But, again, beyond that, there aren't really that many overt differences between this and the original. The tempo is a hair quicker and the beat is a little snappier. I think the tempo and beat of the original was just a hair slower. I want to say the vocals seem like they might be a little bit different as well. Did she maybe go in and re-record the vocals for this particular version? They sound remotely different. It sounds vocally she sounds, I want to say like remotely more polished, but they could have just tweaked it in the studio. So I can, with a remix album, oftentimes artists they don't go in and re-record. They kind of just take the original DAT recording and just add a new track to it. But again, I'm curious. Let me know, if did Madonna go in and re-record this, or did they just tweak the pitch? I did notice that there are some different backing vocals. The backing vocals sound different. Like on the original, the backing vocals sound a lot higher, a lot girlier, whereas on this particular version, they sound a little bit lower. And there are also some additional backing vocals that weren't on the original. What else? Yeah. I don't detect many differences between this version and the original, to tell you the truth. I enjoyed it though. I know a lot of 80s remixes they didn't do like many overt changes to the track. They basically kept it, similar to the original, but they kind of added, different elements on top, and I think that's kind of represented here. Yeah. So I would say, let me give this song a grade. I would give it a grade of a C plus. It's pretty good, and I'm glad I listened to it, but I think I'm gonna stay true to the original version. Even though the original version is not that different from this, but still, I'm gonna remain partial to it. That was the first version I heard, so yeah. But yeah, this was pretty good. This was a good listen. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next track, which is Everybody. I wonder if they did anything different with that. Let's see. let's pause for a minute. All right, so far, I'm liking this Everybody remix. Unlike the holiday remix, this one actually does transform the song structure. It sounds cleaner and more. It sounds cleaner and sleeker than the original. So yeah, so far so good. Let's keep going. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. Those drums slap. I really like the drums. Okay, Madonna, I see you. I like that keyboard. The keyboard pattern. All right, everybody, the remix. I like that. That was high. You know, despite the change in production, I think this remix casually follows enough of the structure of the original. The Madonna album version had like a dark, gritty grassroots feel to it, while this remix it's a little bit more polished and refined. And although it sacrifices some of the original urban grit, the rhythm is cleaner and more pronounced, and the bass line remains potent. I especially like the use of the live drums, incorporating the keyboard elements of the original with some additional keyboard riffs on top. The instrumental section and that dance breakdown in the middle was fire. I like the echoey reverb. That was a highlight for me. So like the holiday remix, the vocals seem like they've been pitched to be slightly, I want to say, deeper. Although I can tell that, you know, Madonna didn't go in and re-record the vocals. This is definitely the original vocal track. But also I think the tempo feels a little bit slower. It feels a little bit slowed down. However, I will say that the overall track, I think, does have a tendency to, I want to say, like, overpower Madonna's vocals. It seems like she was shouting during the chorus. I want to say also one thing I have to point out, that Madonna really evolved as a singer, because, you know, just listening to this early track, you know, after the True Blue and Who's That Girl and even some of the Like a Virgin songs, you know, Madonna's voice became a little bit, it became actually quite a bit deeper. She started singing from like a chest voice, and Here, we're going all the way back to that first album when she was singing in that really super high head voice. So yeah, you can really hear the vocal evolution on this particular album. It really kind of just shows how far she came as a singer. Um, that being said, I really like that dance and sing "Get Up and Do Your Thing" line. I thought that was cute. I think overall, this version of Everybody has a brighter tone and it sounds more expensive. So I would give this remix a letter grade of a B plus. I enjoyed it. This was actually pretty dope. It feels brighter in tone and it has like a more lavish production value. It almost seems like it was inspired by that live organic sound during the Virgin tour when she performed it. Overall, I like what they did with it. So yeah, I would definitely say that this song is playlist worthy, but how do you feel about it? How do you feel about the You Can Dance version of Everybody? Leave me some comments, like and subscribe, and until next time, peace.